Thought it would be. The co-main and main just blew the stadium away and just blew the whole world away, really, you know? If you just look at the level, it's just insane, so much fun. You know, one thing I realized, we're definitely going to do more special rules super fights, definitely, because it's just so interesting, you know?
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see more of those in the future.
If we see more of those, who might be involved?
You know what, I literally just said to Matt Hume, I said, bro, get a creative session together, let's all do it, let's pick our brains, anybody in the roster, any crazy ideas, any wacky things we can do that'll just like literally give the fans something, you know, a special treat that no one else can do in the world. So yeah, we're going to put our heads together next week.
So safe to say, after the small amount of criticism that fight received, you feel like you proved the doubters wrong with it?
Definitely. I mean, you saw the stadium go nuts. You know, our viewership nuts, social media went nuts. It just, you know, it was it was crazy.
Is Ham Shohik the next show Angela Lee?
Yeah, because she won. She beat Denise. Yeah, so she'll get it.
Were you happy with the performance? It wasn't maybe the most exciting fight of the night.
No, I didn't think it was particularly a good performance, and yeah, but you know, people may have off days or good days, bad days. So I don't know, but obviously, Seo Ham is a legend in the sport and very well-rounded skill set. But you know, in my opinion, if she fought the way she did tonight against Angela, the way Angela fought tonight, it wouldn't be a close fight, right?
Did you panic a little bit, or not panic, but did you think Angela might lose after that body shot and she seemed to crumble a little bit like she did against Zhang Jingnan in that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all thought, right? I mean, you thought she was going to crumble because that liver shot, I don't know if you saw the slow-mo, that liver shot was literally textbook, you know? So it was crazy. And I mean, I actually thought Sam was going to win the fight. I had Angela as the underdog, you know. Cage side, everyone was talking, hey, you know, right before the fight, and I said, you know, I don't know, you know, there's a big question mark on Angela. She's been out for a while. Obviously, she's extraordinary, but I said, Stamp is on a red hot streak.
Speaking of cage side, what did Tom DeBlas and Henzo think of everything they saw tonight?
Blown away. They said it's the greatest martial arts event they've ever attended. They said it's the greatest in history. Yeah, and Leo Vera was there too. You know, the head of Checkmat, BJJ legend, a bunch of people, and just everyone was blown away.
If you can only pick one, which fight is the best in this card?
I'd have to say Hiroki Akimoto versus Capitan Petyindi was the very, very best fight of the night. That was crazy. I mean, that was an all-out war, back and forth. 1 second you thought somebody else. I mean, that was at the highest levels of kickboxing in the world. You know, unfortunately, you know, there was a little bit of controversy when Capitan started clinching and using Muay Thai, and he kept on doing it. You know, and I think the referee was fair to give a yellow card.
What's the next one? Okay.
Muay Thai, I think, will continue to his Muay Thai kickboxing thing. I think he told me he was crying. He met with me afterwards and was crying, and he said he wants to give me a run. I said, bro, just take your time. You know, one lane at a time, and I'm sure you'll be able to achieve your dreams. But and I said, look, DJ is the GOAT. I mean, and DJ's in his prime. It's not like DJ slowed down a beat. Yes, he lost to Adriana, got knocked out. But if you look at DJ's body of work over his career, you look at his skill set today, you look at, he's in his prime. He's in his prime.
Do you think people are overlooking DJ?
No, I actually had the fight go exactly the way I thought DJ was going to submit Rotang in second. I thought DJ would be too crafty. I was surprised though. DJ actually stood there to strike.
Yeah.
Like he was not. You know, he could have run away, run around, but he was there to strike.
And he was landing.
Yes, and he was landing. You know, he was trying. So, and I don't know if you saw the reaction. Like when DJ entered the cage, when he enters the cage, normally he's very calm and relaxed. This time you could see he was scared. You could actually see DJ was nervous. You could see his face, and Rotang was very relaxed. You know, so that's why I thought, wow, this is not going to end well. You know, at first, you know.
Charlie, if I may just say, I've been covering One Championship since 2014 all around Asia, and I want to congratulate you on this event. I think this is the best that I've covered yet so far. On start of the event, you were giving out bonuses left, right, and center. 3 fights in, and 2 bonuses were already awarded to these awesome fighters. Did you anticipate, or did you imagine that it would be this action-packed? It would be this successful that it's almost every fight that. A lot of fighters actually took the 50,000 bonus.
Yeah. I don't know how many we gave out today, actually. Does anybody know?
I think it was 6 or 7.
No, a little bit more than that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, last question. What was your impression of RDR's performance against Andre Galvao?
Phenomenal. I really thought that Andre Galvao would come in and smoke RDR, and I thought RDR was crazy. But RDR proved that he can hang with one of the greatest of all time. That shows you, if I'm in the middleweight division or light heavyweight division in mixed martial arts, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to go down to the ground with RDR, right? It just shows he's legit a badass grappler, legit skills, because before you're like, okay, yeah, he's pretty good at jiu-jitsu. No. He went with Andre Galvao to a draw, and Andre Galvao couldn't pass his guard, couldn't finish him. Like, it was just, Well, actually, no, Andre passed him at once. I think Andre might have mounted him once.
How do you think about Akiyama's win? This win will push to the first ever Korean show in one championship.
Yeah, possibly. Yes, possibly. I think that's a very big possibility. Yeah, I love Korea. We have Korean champions in Okra Yoon. So I think that's a very big possibility. And Akiyama was shocked. I really thought Aoki was going to sub him in that first round, especially Aoki on your back in the first 30 seconds. That usually is bad news. So, but Akiyama stayed very composed, and he didn't fall down. If he fell down to the ground, it would have definitely been over, right? So he was very relaxed and composed, and that you could see in the second round that Aoki's face, he lost a little confidence. You saw it,
And how about John Wayne Parr? He was chasing that 100th win, didn't get it. I mean, how do you feel about the way that went for him?
Unfortunately, I did predict that. I thought that Edward was too fast and too strong. Maybe John Wayne Parr, say 5 years ago, 7 years ago, then it would have been a barn burner fight. But John Wayne did show flashes of brilliance. That last round, there's like 30 seconds of left, and he just, right, it went crazy. So there was still that left in him, but he's such a good guy, he's a good friend, and to see him retire the way he did, I know he was crying when I met with him, and he wanted the fairy tale ending, but 99 wins is still a hell of a career. I think he has 150 fights, 13-time Muay Thai world champion, a legend of the sport. So in a way, it wasn't fairy tale, but it was fairy tale that he could end his career on the world's largest stage of martial arts in a place, which the fans adore him, and he did it with class, dignity, and grace.
So you think even though that 100th win eluded him, the retirement mistake, that's the last one?
Yeah, I really think so. I really think he put his gloves down, but also, if you look at the whole fight, John Wayne just wasn't John Wayne, in my opinion. Like 5 years ago, he was absolutely unattainable. Even 2-3 years ago, he could have been. But he had hip surgery, I think a year ago, and he just wasn't the same, in my opinion.
Anything planned for Gordon Ryan?
Gordon Ryan, yeah, he's going to make his debut later this year in submission grappling. So he and I spoke last week. So let's see what happens.
Chatri, just a quick one with the Fulayang fight. He called out Sage Northcutt after that for a Wushu versus Karate match showdown.
Yeah,
is that something that
I like that idea. An all striking war, kind of a super serious rule set or something. We'll forget the rule set, but yes, I think that makes it a phenomenal thing. Sage was supposed to fight Edward. We offered Edward to Sage originally for 1X.
CJ mentioned something in his post-fight interview, a summer comeback. Can you provide any information about what he was talking about there?
Yeah, we're going to announce our U.S. broadcast deal in mid-April. I'm going to announce a very big, it's going to be U.S. prime time on a regular schedule for a multi-year deal. First time in the history of one that we'll be, on a multi-year, on a regular prime time schedule on a major broadcaster in the U.S. DJ will obviously feature. So I think that's what he's talking about.
So Tankai will challenge to the Town League?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. What do you guys think?
Sure.
Yeah. He dominated, right? He was crazy. He is an incredible, I think, KO ratio, like almost an 80-90% KO ratio, right?
Yeah, and Tom was somewhere in the building tonight, I assume?
He was sitting there, yeah.
There's some rumors that Francis Ngannou might be considering free agency. Any thoughts on that?
I like Francis, but I think our heavyweights would smoke him. He's just not a complete fighter.
Really?
Yeah, if you look, for sure. If you ask any expert martial arts, you look at Anatoly Malyukin, for example, Russian pedigree wrestler, national wrestler, dynamite in his hands, much faster than Francis, much better ground game, black belt level. He was also submission champion in Europe. You look at Arjun Gular, wrestling with boxing. Francis is not very impressive on the ground. He's got big punches, but big looking punches. He's not as technical of a boxer as Anatoly or even Arjun. So we have a few other signings in the heavyweight division that we haven't announced yet that are just killers. So I think this is a year, the last several months, especially the year that we have truly arrived in terms of our World Heavyweight Championship division being, neck and neck with the UFCs.
What's going to happen with the belt? Because maybe Malikin can't fight in Singapore. So, I mean, I had Derrida here saying he'd love to slide in and go for that third title. Would you do that?
No, because we have events planned for outside of Singapore. So we just haven't announced it yet. Yeah.
How about Danielle Kelly? She made quite a splash there. Got a bonus. Really?
Yeah, she did. Unfortunately, this is the thing about grappling. Like, if you get two people who want to finish, you get a phenomenal match. If you get one person who wants to finish and one person who wants to stall, then so that's what happened. Unfortunately, I was expecting May to come in to try to finish, but she was defensive the whole match, even in the closed guard, totally defensive, not trying to open the guard and pass, nothing, just defense. So I was very disappointed. But again, like, these things happen. I love May. May's been a big important part of one. I'm sure we'll see her back in action, but she didn't give her most impressive performance. But again, May is an MMA fighter, not a submission grappler. So she did her best. I thought it'd be more exciting.
Chatri, last one is for me. Speaking of fights or events outside of Singapore, any chance you're coming back to Manila anytime soon? Restrictions have already eased.
Yes. Keeping some of the cities we'd like to go back this year: Bangkok, Manila, Tokyo. A few Seoul for the first time. So there's a few. We have our eyes on.
Okay. Do you have any indication of how the pay-per-view is trending or anything like that? How well it is?
I just saw. We're going to hit record high revenues for a single event for the history of one. So I'm really excited. We're pumped. The numbers are coming, but we are super happy. Put it that way.
And what did they feel like just having that audience there? I mean, I was walking back and forth and just looking around. It was magical, to see so many people.
Yeah, again, it's even with COVID limited capacity, the stadium still looked amazing, right? I mean, there's obviously limitations that the Singapore government had requested just because to keep things COVID safe, not relax too much. But you saw the energy. I mean, the energy was electrifying. Especially I think like 6 p.m. onwards, that's when the energy just skyrocketed.
10 years down, looking ahead to the next 10 years, what are the goals, and are there any mistakes you're hoping to kind of avoid in the next decade?
Jangan lupa subscribe, like, komen, dan share konten bolasport.com.